Today we're making homemade pie crust. And oh my goodness, having your pie crust homemade and already prepared is just a convenience that you always want. And also keep in mind that we're trying to learn new kitchen skills. And this is something that the more you do it, the better you get at it. So you're going to see that I'm going to start one way and then I'm going to continue to do it over and over again. Welcome to Ebony, Ivy, and Thyme. I'm Leona Dooley, and today I am so thankful that you are spending the day with me right here in the kitchen. I'm having a lot of fun. I'm getting floury, I'm getting messy, and I know those are the things that you love to do also right here in your kitchen. So stay right there and get comfortable because we've got lots to do. Now I'm starting here with this is my Cook's cooking school book from the American Test Kitchen. I tell you what, it is the best book ever, and it is one of those books that if you're given a wedding gift, everybody should receive because it has a little bit of everything. And once you get used to using it, then when it's something you want to know, you pull this book out and voila, it has what it needs. Now, what I like to do when I find things that are just for me, something I use a lot, you'll see this is a working book. So because of that, I can dog-ear it and know that I can come back without having to look it up. Even though I've dog-eared here, I've also dog-eared the index so that it won't be difficult to find, because one of the main things I come to this book for is to make sure that I'm putting my pie crust together. Now, I at this point have 4 sticks of butter that I'm going to slice into 6 tablespoon parts. So here we go. We've got this is going to take a minute, and my knife is going to go through it. Okay, we've got those 2. I'm going to come over here, and I'm probably going to do 2 more, just in case I decide that I want to do a couple of extra pie crusts. Now, because of this, I'm going to do this in my food processor because it's a lot faster. So we've got enough for 4 crust, and I think I'm gonna pull out a couple more sticks and have those ready so that when I can just be like a machine and get this going and ready for the processor. All right, so I have enough butter to do 1, 2, 3, 4 batches of double crust. And I've also worked out I need ice water. You always need ice water for your pie crust. Now, the difference in the American Test Kitchen pie crust is that you're going to want some vodka. And it's not a lot of vodka. In fact, it's only a 1/4 cup of vodka. But we had the bottle, so I've got my vodka here. So let's start to lay this out. And I'm going to walk you through as I do it. So we're going to begin with 12 tablespoons of butter. Let's put together homemade pie crust. That's what we're going to do today. And we're not just going to make enough pie crust for one pie. We're going to do multiples, and I'm going to try my best to at least do, let's say, at least 2 batches. And we're going to see how far it gets us, because you know this is apple season, and in apple season we want to have as many appley desserts as we can possibly have. And I'm thinking an apple pie should be in the near future every now and then. So let's get those pie crusts made so that when I'm ready to put those apple pies together, bam, they're done and the crust won't hold me up. So stay right there. All right, I've got 12 tablespoons of butter here that I have kind of diced up and chopped up because this is frozen hard as a brick. And so I'm going to take this, and I've got it on a piece of plastic mat that I use when I'm trying to keep things clean. So I'm going to see if I can get this butter in neatly. That's the 12 tablespoons that are in. I need 12 tablespoons of butter. I need 8 tablespoons of vegetable shortening. So I'm going to be using Crisco. Okay, this is number 8. You can see I've kind of taken them. I've made sure I had them even. And then I've scooped out the tablespoon. So I have 8 scooped tablespoons of shortening. So I'm going to add those in. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. All right, we've got 8 tablespoons of shortening. We need 2½ cups of flour, all-purpose flour. So let's get ready for cup 1. I'm going to scoop. Tap that in, make sure it's full. That's 1. And I don't know that I'm going to be able to get this in here neatly, but we're going to try it. That's 1. Scoop cup 2. And we need a half. So I've got a 4th cup here that I'm going to use. That's 1/4. Not a problem with the 4th. And there's our half. So I've got in the 2½ cups of flour. I also need 2 tablespoons of sugar. So let me wash my hands and we'll get those tablespoons. Okay, I've got 1 tablespoon of sugar. And let me get the second one. And 2 tablespoons of sugar. 1 teaspoon of salt. And we will need a 4th cup of ice water. And we're going to need a 4th cup of vodka. But the first thing I'm going to do at this point is to put the top in. And I'm going to give it a few pulses just to get it there, get it right. Make sure I put this in correctly. Because if you don't, it will let you know. There we go. Everything locked in. It takes a minute. There we go. Now, let's put it. Don't want to pulse too much at this point. Now we're going to add in some, we need how many? We need a 4th cup of water. So where is my 4th cup? I've got to wet him up, that's okay. Or, let me get a smaller measure. See, I think it gives me a 4th cup. Milliliters. Of course it doesn't. Let's see what a 4th cup. It does it by tablespoons. Don't you hate that? All right, so anchor hockey. I need one of these. It's going to show me a 4th cup. I've got everything. I've got teaspoons. I've got all kinds of things, but no 4th cup. Oh, this little 4th cup is about to get used in the water. So we're going to pour in a 4th cup of ice water. There's our 4th cup of ice water, and we need our 4th cup of vodka. And be aware, we're using vodka, but none of this alcohol will be present. There's going to be a chemical reaction that's going to take place because of the vodka being in it. You can use other white alcohols, but vodka is the best. And that's what the American Test Kitchen recommends. So there's our 4th cup of the vodka. I'm just going to stick that there. Now let's get this back on. Back in, get it locked back in. Okay, dough's ready. What we're going to do is that we're going to lay it out right here. I'm going to put it out on parchment so that I can roll it up. I'm going to wrap it up, put it into a Ziploc bag so I can put it into the refrigerator for later. And of course, once it gets nice and cold, I'll freeze it. So here we go. Got all our little pieces out. And let's turn this over so nothing falls. Get all of our crust out. There we go. And we're going to use this same thing. We're going to do it again. There we go. Now be careful when you're taking all of this apart, as you know, because you do not want your fingers to get cut. So I have to be a little bit careful as I'm taking this apart because I have cut my hand. And I don't want to do that today, and especially not in front of you. Okay, so we have the first crust, and notice it's crumbly, a little crumbly, but we're going to bring it together into a little ball or a little mass. There we go. And I'm going to put it on this parchment right there. I'm going to have it ready. I'm going to roll it up. Fold it up. Put it in there. And it's going to go into my Ziploc bag that I've got waiting for it. So this is double crust 1. Now I hope you're enjoying being a part of this day in the life. And it took me quite a while. You know, actually it took me back to the time when I was young and loved to play in the flour as my mom would cook. And certainly it gives me the opportunity to play around. But you know what? The thing of it is that now we have technology, and it adds another level of learning to what we're doing. So, in spite of the fact that we're using technology, we're also trying to figure out how to use it, where it goes, when to use it, and how much of it to use. So all of that is a factor when you're making these pie crusts. Now, certainly, do you have to use technology? No. But in today's world, we are working girls, so we don't have time to play around. We need to make sure that we're getting it done for our family. And there's no shame in the game to use your devices. So certainly do that. Thank you so much for taking the time to spend the day in the kitchen with me. I hope you have certainly had a good time. And I hope this has inspired you to start making your own pie crust. Thank you to those of you who are my tried and true family members, and you are always on the journey with me. And to those of you who are new subscribers, thank you so much. And we love having you here and a part of the family. Please be sure to let me know when you're in the house, and do that by making a comment. It doesn't have to be long, it could even be a heart. Please be sure to give me a thumbs up if you've enjoyed today, as well as if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button because we're doing these kind of things all the time.